Greetings, Internet people. Ranting Ramsey here, and welcome to another edition of the Rant Request. And today's rant request was basically kind of requested by the real Nicholas. He had sent me a message a while back, because I'm kind of backlogged on some of these. And he had sent me a very basic question. It said, can you do a rant on console fanboys? And I thought about it, and I play on PCs and I play on my PS3 all the time. And before I had my PS3, I had an Xbox 360, which is what I traded in to get my PS3. And so, I mean, I've been playing games on both for a long time. So I didn't really want to specifically attack console fanboyism so much as just the basic general bias in between the two to begin with, because you cannot deny that there is an overwhelming just like hatred between some console gamers and some PC gamers. Now, you do have a lot of people that are out there that are in the middle of the road, like myself, whereas there are some games that I prefer to play on my PC because it's more comfortable, the control is just easier, stuff like that. The first thing off the top of my head is Oblivion. Oblivion is a really fun game to play on your PC because there are so many different mod packages out there and stuff like that. Some of the best of which are actually supported by Bethesda Softworks and some of the other developers of the game and whatever. So it's a game that just keeps growing and growing and growing on the PC, and the other thing I like about it is it's not online and everything. It's a game that I can sit down and play by myself and not have to worry about any bullshit. But then again, when I want to turn on something and do some online fragging, I am more prone to do it on a console because it's generally a lot easier. You just pop in the disc and you go. With the online games, depending on which online game for PC you want to play, sometimes just finding a server can be a pain in the ass, and you have to pay money to access the best servers, or, it's different for every game. I'm not saying that's a universal thing. But what the problem basically is you go online on any video game, anything, and just, look at any post about any game. And eventually you will find one of just the fanboy, flamer, troll, demon people that hate everything that is not exactly what they do. And that's just another form of small-mindedness that just really twists my nuts, I mean, I guess anyone who's been watching for a while can see kind of a recurring theme in some of these rants I do, that if it involves a small-minded person being an idiot, it probably pisses me off. And this is just a perfect example of it, because you'll get the PC gamers who say, oh, the graphics on the PC are always going to be way better than it's ever going to be on a console, and the games are always going to be prettier and bigger and blah, 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 so console sucks. That really is just silly, I mean, even if the arguments are fucking valid, it doesn't make it any more of a more reasonable statement to make if the person who's gaming on the console doesn't care about the graphics or doesn't care about anything other than the fact that Xbox Live is one of the easiest video game social networking things in existence. I currently own a PlayStation 3, and I will be the first person to admit that when it comes to connectivity, ease of updating, and ease of communicating with your friends while doing things, Xbox Live has it hands down over PlayStation Network. That's just obvious. You can be in a chat with 5 fucking people and be playing a game that none of them are even playing. And you can't do that on PlayStation Network. You can't. You can't be in a verbal chat. You can be in a text-based chat, sure, but you cannot be in a verbal chat with people in a chat room and still play your own game or something. So I will be the first to admit the limitations of one thing over another, but It just doesn't seem to be any kind of excuse for absolute fanboyism. I mean, I'll be a first person to admit to being a fanboy of the Alien series, and I know it doesn't really have much to do with video games, but I'm using this as an example. But when I say I'm a fanboy of Alien, that doesn't mean I hate anything that contradicts Alien or anything that tries to say Alien's not good. It just means that I will pretty much accept, without question, anything that bears the Alien's name and has a xenomorph in it. I'm not going to question it. I'm going to say, oh, that's entertaining. The story could be completely in left field, and I, as a fanboy of Alien, will still pay money to see it. Because I'm a fanboy, and to me that's kind of the definition of like a passive fanboy. If someone who just eats it up and doesn't care about people who don't like it. If you don't like Alien, I don't give a shit. If you think I'm silly for being a fanboy of Alien, I don't give a shit because I enjoy it and it entertains me. What the problem is you get those venomous attacking fanboys who not only are they a fanboy for what they like, but they are avidly against anything in a competing position. And that's just fucking ridiculous and kind of silly to watch these people because, you know, you can walk into a room and be like, hey, did you catch that new movie, blah, 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 say it's a monster movie about monsters that kill people, and it came out at the same time as this other movie about a monster that kills people, and the fanboy of the one monster movie doesn't care that you don't even mention his monster movie or how you don't even compare it to the other one. As soon as you say, hey, did you see this movie? Oh, well, that movie sucks because it didn't do that and this, that, and that, and that, and this like the other movie did, you know, and it's so any kind of fanboy, really, when it comes to that of the venomous variety, is just absolutely ridiculous. These people just, I don't know, it seems like they're so insecure about their liking of what it is that they like that they feel more need to denigrate the competition than maybe just talk about how great their thing is, you know what I mean? There's no need to talk about how horrible the competition is. Just talk about how great your thing is, you know. I don't know. It's just kind of indicative of us, once again, a small-minded personality incapable of possibly opening one's mind to the alternatives or the fact that maybe something else might be just as entertaining to someone else, because if they don't find it entertaining, then no one possibly can. So it was kind of a disjointed rant request, but I think it gets the point across that, you know, you can be a fanboy. That's fine. But don't be one of those venomous, asshole-ish fanboys who just feels the need to shit on everything else, because that's just stupid. Ranting Ramsey, peace.
Hey, did you get all that, man?